In the life of every young male lion comes a time when he's forced to abandon the pride into which he was born. He becomes a wanderer, a nomad, roaming and hunting with other young males on the fringes of lion society. This is the story of three young brothers and their battle to stay alive beyond the Pride Lands. Their challenge is to survive and grow strong. Strong enough to challenge for a pride of their own. Tanzania, East Africa. Just south of the equator, in the west of the country, lies the Serengeti National Park. The name Serengeti comes from a Maasai word meaning endless plains. Covering more than 13,000 square kilometers, these grasslands support a vast array of wildlife. In the wet season, over 3 million large animals live here. And ruling at the top of the food chain, Serengeti's large population of lions. But outside the security of the pride, life is less easy for the so-called king of the beasts. The life of a nomadic male lion is especially difficult. These three brothers are adolescents. At 2 years old, they've recently left their home pride. Now, the only family they have is each other. They spend every waking moment together. With little or no hunting experience, they survive by eating others' leftovers. All lions scavenge. In the Serengeti, more than 40% of a lion's diet may be obtained this way, but the pickings are slim. Hunting is a better option. The brothers' first attempt begins well down the food chain. There's a meal in this hole, but getting to it is proving to be a problem. It's a warthog, and he's staying put. He's managed to bury every part of his body except his head. There's nothing else for it but to dig. But the warthog isn't budging. The brothers take it in turns to widen the hole. Next day, what could have been supper might yet become breakfast. But what little patience the brothers have has worn out. At last, the warthog's patience pays off. It wins the waiting game. No breakfast this morning. Finding food will be the main struggle for these young lions if they're to survive to challenge for a pride. Lions are the only cats who live in social groups. An average Serengeti pride contains around 15 individuals who occupy a territory. The females of one pride often give birth at the same time and suckle and raise their cubs communally. Lionesses are the real leaders of the pride. An extended family of mothers, daughters, sisters and cousins whose family may have held the same territory for hundreds of years. This pride has 2 adult males. They're brothers, but not related to the females. The male's role is to defend the pride and protect the cubs from other males until they're big enough to look after themselves. But they can only hold on to their pride as long as they're in their prime. Most males can retain leadership for just 2 or 3 years. Male lions are the only cats in the world with manes. And at 200 kilograms, they're much larger than the females. This reflects their very different roles within the pride. Lions often hunt under cover of darkness. It increases their chances of success. Females do most of the hunting. By working together as a pride, they can kill large animals. The males stay home to babysit. Hunting lions have very good acceleration, but little stamina. So they must get as close as possible to their prey before moving in for the kill. Females are faster than males, so they're better hunters. The smell of blood attracts other predators. Hyenas want a piece of the action. Undaunted by the lionesses, they move in to take over the fresh kill. Hyenas are the second largest predators on the savannah, and a group this size easily intimidates the females. But this is when the male lions are useful in the hunt. Their size intimidates the hyenas, who make a hasty retreat. The meal is earned by the pride and shared by the pride. Looking after security is the male's most important role. At night, they make frequent patrols around the territory. Roaring demarcates the pride land and warns wandering males to keep their distance. The sound can be heard over 4 kilometers away. The scent of their footsteps marks the invisible boundaries of the pride territory. Pride males will lay down their lives to defend cubs and territory. The main threat comes from wandering males. Something has caught the brothers' attention. A wandering male. He's crossed over the boundary between no man's land and their territory. He's been in a few fights before, and he's headed for another. The pride males must face this challenge head-on. The brothers overpower the challenger, who retreats back into no man's land between the occupied territories. The victors announce to the Serengeti Night that they're still in charge. But the brothers are nearing the end of their prime. They're both at an age where a takeover could happen any day, if they face a wanderer with superior strength. And such an event will create more wandering males. A pride is stable only until there's a challenge from more powerful males. If that challenge is successful, the new males will kill all the cubs, ensuring that their own offspring will dominate the pride. When that time comes, the young males in this pride will flee for their lives. This thin-maned youngster may have only a few months left in his home pride. Even if there isn't a challenge, he'll be forced out by the time he's 3. But he's unlikely to remain alone. Nomadic males often live in groups, hunting and scavenging cooperatively. Having recently set out on their own, the 3 brothers are entering a perilous time. Many youngsters fail to survive their first year away from the pride. At 3 years of age, their manes are almost fully grown, but they're thin and each bears the scars of a year out on the Serengeti alone. Constantly on the move, with no territory of their own, they inhabit the narrow pockets between the pride lands. On their journeys, they use ears and nose to glean information on the makeup of the nearby prides. There are 12 prides along the river, and each has its own well-defined territory. The brothers are currently in this area, which means they're in danger of encroaching on the territory of 7 different prides. It's important that they keep a low profile until they're strong enough to challenge for a pride of their own. They rest during the day and hunt cautiously by night. They need to find food without disturbing the resident prides in the area. Their nightly wanderings can extend up to 20 kilometers. The smell of fresh meat stops them in their tracks. Hyenas have recently made a kill. Contrary to popular belief, lions do more scavenging than hyenas, and they often steal hyena kills. The brothers are now strong enough to chase off a pack of about 20 hyenas. Lions will kill hyenas at every opportunity. Scavenging may not be a noble pastime, but it's keeping the brothers alive. Even though they're fully grown, they've yet to hunt large prey for themselves. As a coalition, the 3 young males are becoming a force to be reckoned with. But are they ready to take over a pride? There's something in the air. The brothers can sense it by using an organ in the roof of their mouths. It's likely they've detected a female lion in season somewhere close by. They follow the scent and cross the invisible line into an occupied territory. This pride's been ravaged by disease. There's only 1 female and 2 males left, and the males appear to have given up defending the territory. It's an excellent opportunity. One of the brothers makes a cautious approach. He's trying to gauge the female's mood. She's not impressed. He remains passive. She definitely has the upper hand. He's no match for her. She's a mature female of 9 years. Perhaps he's just too young. She makes it clear she's not interested. As day breaks, he finally gives up. But he will try again to find a pride to join. For him and his brothers, it's the battle of their lives. A year has passed. The Serengeti is in the middle of the dry season, the driest for 40 years. The grazing animals have moved on to greener pastures some 200 kilometers away. There are no wildebeests or zebras on the menu tonight for this pride. All they can find is a porcupine. The females attempt to catch it. Surrounded by ravenous female lions, the porcupine stands its ground. The females will give up soon. Such a small meal isn't worth the risk of being impaled by those spines. Out beyond the Pride Lands, the three brothers wander, hungry and thirsty. They've lost all weight and condition, and are severely lacking in energy. They don't even have the stamina to hunt gazelles. And at this time of year, there's precious little to scavenge. They face starvation. At last, the drought breaks. For the next 2 months, it'll rain almost every day. In just 3 days, patches of grass begin to appear. And as brown quickly turns to green, hundreds of thousands of wildebeests come home from the north. The savannah is once again a land of plenty. The rains have rescued the brothers. Their condition is improving, and so is their strength. Now 4 years old, they're about to attempt to bring down their first big kill. The eldest brother takes the lead, while the others watch on from the sidelines. He can run fast, but only for a short distance, so it's important to isolate a victim quickly. This is the first large animal he's ever brought down. Having endured hardship together, the brothers now share the time of plenty. And their prospects are about to get even better. Three females walk a nearby territory alone. The last adult male here died a week ago. Now well fed, the brothers are moving in their direction. This time, the females might accept their advances, but other males will also be interested, so they must act quickly. They attempt to gauge the female's mood. The youngest brother takes the lead, moving carefully, slowly. Then the middle brother makes his move. He's being careful not to get too close, and he's patient. Meanwhile, the oldest brother seems to have made a breakthrough. This time, a female is approaching him. Finally, the games are over. She accepts him as a mate. If these two maintain a relationship for more than a few days, then it's likely all three brothers will be accepted into the pride. Three days later, and the eldest brother is still with his mate. And as predicted, the other brothers are now with the remaining two females. In less than a week, their fortunes have turned around completely. Finally, they have their own pride, and without facing a violent confrontation with other males. Their role now is to father their own cubs and protect them and their territory from wandering strangers. It will be no easy task, but their fierce loyalty to each other and the fact they're a group of three is in their favor. Whatever the future holds, they've begun their reign as kings of a pride of their own.